Hey everybody, it's Dr. Samji from Magic Molecules with another weekly Facebook Live. Let me know if you guys can see me, hear me okay. Leave some comments today. We're going to dive a little bit deeper into this drug that we keep hearing about in the news called Ozempic. And if you think it's a good idea, just share with us as well and let us know if any of you are on Ozempic. How has it been working for you? What have been the results so far? And as we wait for a few more people to join our group, we can see if you guys want to reach out and just tell me also what wins you might have had this week in any area of your life. Maybe could be weight loss, could be other things with your family, your kids, your work, your sports, if you're playing, or workouts. Just share. We have a growing community. Also wanted to welcome all the new members and shout out to the members who have been with me for a while, and hope you're getting value. Again, my goal is to help you guys with your weight loss goals and energy optimization, and teach you, in my opinion, the safest, most effective way for weight loss, and that's using the ChiroThin weight loss program. And again, ChiroThin is a nutraceutical formula. Comes in a little spray bottle. Give me a second so I can show you. Alright, so ChiroThin just looks like this. Just shake the bottle a little bit and you spray under the tongue. So sublingual. Sublingual is one of the fastest ways to get anything into the body because we have a lot of blood vessels under the tongue and inside our cheeks. So we swish it around a little bit after. Make sure you don't eat or drink 10 minutes before, 10 minutes after, and you're doing 5 sprays 3 times a day. And we've talked in previous lives a lot about what's in the actual sprays, all natural, so no hormones, no chemicals, no drugs. A blend of B vitamins, amino acids, and homeopathic stuff. And I call them magic molecules because it has a way to suppress appetite, suppress craving. So we need some help when we're trying to lose weight, because willpower sometimes is not enough. So these magic molecules will really help get your weight loss started by helping to suppress the appetite, because sometimes we're just eating too much, and that will lead to weight gain because our body cannot handle too much food at the same time. It has no choice but to store any excess food. Once it's broken down, it's going to be stored. So if we eat less during the 6-week program with ChiroThin, we're eating 2 meals a day. So we're taking advantage of intermittent fasting, which I'm sure a lot of you are doing and trying and maybe not seeing results, and that's okay. The intermittent fasting kind of forces our body to go after stored fat. But now, since our body might not be used to using fat as fuel, the ingredients in the magic molecules will also help with that. So some of these amino acids are designed to increase fatty acid metabolism, which basically means helping your body burn fat as fuel. So that's a little bit about the ChiroThin. Now, Ozempic is a medication that is designed to also help people lose weight, and it's been claimed that you will be able to lose about 10-15% of your body weight, right? So if you're a 200-pound person, and 10%, roughly 20 to 30 pounds. So roughly the same as what ChiroThin is achieving. Although I have a client right now who's maybe halfway through the program, already has lost 30 pounds. He went from 210 to 180 already, and I'll be seeing him again next week. So I'd like to check in and see where he's at. I have another lady coming today to my office to get started on the ChiroThin program, and I had another lady who started yesterday. So I have a lot of cool stuff to share. Okay, so now I dropped a post earlier this week on Ozempic, too good to be true, and a little bit of the facts from this recent interview that I watched on Tucker Carlson on Twitter with this amazing author. I'll share the name of this author. He's just written a book with his wife, who's a medical doctor, and he himself was an insider in the pharmaceutical industry for many years, and now he's out of the pharmaceutical industry, so he's able to share what he learned. So some of the stuff he said is 80% of Americans are obese. So he said when you have a dirty fish tank, you should clean the tank, you shouldn't drug the fish. And that's how he started his interview. So he basically meant in America we have a problem with the fish tank, and he was alluding to our metabolism of the majority of adults is been compromised, and that's why we're gaining weight. And not just increased weight gain, but there's an increase in diabetes and heart disease and all these things. And instead of going after and fixing the root problem, we're drugging people. So this drug Ozempic is something that's being recommended as a weekly injection for life, which I've been telling you, it does not make sense to me. That why would you take something that you have to be on for the rest of your life? Unless it works, if it's something that is natural and has no harmful side effects, but we're going to get into that. This drug is made by a European drug maker, Novo Nordisk, that sells it to the US market. And the funny thing is, it's banned in Europe. Like, they cannot sell this drug in Europe. So they're taking advantage of a broken system in the US and selling it here. So this particular company is now recently also the most valuable company in Europe because they're obviously selling so much of this Ozempic. So it seems strange to me that something that's banned in Europe, but for some reason it's selling in the US, and there is a lot of interest in this drug because it's on the track to being fast-tracked to be subsidized by the US government for the American population, meaning there's a lot of pressure for the American government to cover this drug. Now, to take this injection and drug will cost roughly $20,000 per patient for the course of their life. And if you're looking at 80% of the population being obese, we're talking about $1 trillion or more that's going to be needed in the budget to pay for this. So they have said this will be the most successful drug in US history, so the drug makers. So the stock has been going up as well. So if you guys are looking to make some long-term investments, I joked with my staff that this is something we should look into, right? But my main thing is to educate people onto not taking this, because stats also show that within the first year, and especially the first 3 months of taking this drug, most patients stop taking it due to the side effects. And the main side effects are gastrointestinal distress. So at one of my previous lives we did talk about this, and I didn't know how severe these side effects were, like bloating, gas. To me didn't sound that major, but when I watched this particular interview, they said the effects of this drug is to paralyze the stomach. It causes stomach paralysis. Now imagine that, like, Imagine if your arm, you wake up and you slept on your arm funny and your arm's paralyzed and you can't move it. But over time the blood will come back and the circulation, and you'll be able to move it again. But imagine your stomach being paralyzed. You cannot process and digest the food, and this is the main mechanism of action of how people are able to lose the weight, because they're just not digesting the food properly. And what makes things worse is that even once you stop taking the drug, these side effects sometimes will stay with you. So imagine having these problems for longer periods of time. So there have also been some lawsuits already against this drug maker because of these side effects. So I don't know about you, but I don't really think paralyzing our stomach is the root cause of the problem or the solution to the problem. I think cleaning up our diet and working on our metabolism is the way to go. And that's why I love Chirothin so much, because it doesn't take long, like 6 weeks. So if you really ask me, the problem is an addiction problem. We have an addiction to food. And we talked about this before. We are emotional eaters as humans. We eat when we're celebrating, when we're sad. We need comfort food. And things like sugar is very addictive, almost as addictive, or if not more addictive than narcotics and other drugs. So in this interview with Carlson Tucker, the doctor also said that in the food recommendation guide for kids, the US government has put an allowable amount of sugar intake, and they said for kids up to 10% of their diet, it's okay for that to be sugar, which again makes no sense to me. It's strange. And when he was giving the stats, he also said 50% of our kids are obese. And the American Pediatric Association has said that Ozempic is the first line of defense. They've okayed this, which again just makes no sense to me. So what has happened to our society? They said in the course of one generation, how we have become so obese. Is it because we are less active? And the author of this book, he said for sure that's not the case. It's the dirty fish tank, which he refers to as our diet, and our metabolism has been changed because we're eating too much and we're eating the wrong foods. Right? Too much carbs, too much sugary stuff, too much soda, which he refers to as addictive diabetic water, which I agree. I rarely drink soda, Coke and Sprite, and I think that's the first thing. If you can just get rid of that and switch that with water or green tea, and you're going to cut down the amount of sugar intake into your body dramatically. So if you can do that, just put in the comments if anybody has made that switch, and what have you noticed so far from doing that. I'm just taking a sip of my coffee, which I like. Almond milk lattes is my go-to coffee, and sweetened with stevia. So I stopped sugar years and years ago. I recommend stevia. It comes from a plant and gives a nice sweet taste. Although I hear some people, they don't like the aftertaste, so there is a small percentage of people that cannot drink stevia. Okay, so we talked about stomach paralysis, but also this drug, once you're off, the weight comes back, and that's why you need to be on it for the rest of your life. So wouldn't it be better to find a solution where once you lose the weight, it stays off? And another reason why I love the Chirothin program, because it's resetting your metabolism. And I referred to the metabolism in previous lives as your body's engine, the amount of calories your body is able to burn. So in Chirothin, we increase the metabolism, because the first 2 days you're doing something called loading phase. And the better you load, the more you're going to lose. So loading means you're going to eat all day, every hour I want you to eat something. You're grazing, you're eating all your fun foods, high fat foods, whatever you want. And what this does, this spikes the metabolism, and the metabolism goes up. During those 2 days, you're doing 7 sprays of the Chirothin formula 3 times a day, and the sprays are going to help lock that new metabolism, right? So if you're eating just 3 meals, the metabolism will be coming down and then going up, and so you don't want to take the spray when the metabolism is on its way down. You want to keep that metabolism high, so eating lots all day. And so most patients, I tell them to start on the weekend when they have time, or maybe this time of year, Chinese New Year, you're going to be eating lots of fun foods, or Super Bowl weekend, you're going to be eating and having fun. Good time to start the Chirothin program on these special events. And then the next day 3 to 42 is the losing phase. So we're telling the body, listen, we're not in a shortage of food, we're not starving, and the metabolism is high. We keep it high with 5 sprays a day. Now we're getting the body to burn your stored fat, and we're eating a clean diet to clean up the digestive system. So lean protein, 4.5 to 5 ounces, vegetables, 4.5 to 5 ounces, fruit, 4.5 to 5 ounces. This is an anti-inflammatory, low glycemic index diet. Less food. So are you going to be hungry? Well, when you're taking the spray, you're going to feel, you're not going to feel hungry, because the magic molecules will be suppressing the appetite, suppressing cravings, which is really, really helpful, because 6 weeks, even though it's not a long period of time, you're gonna probably crave some of the foods that you want to eat. Although none of my clients have actually said that. They said they've gone to a few events and they've cheated a little bit, but noticed their weight didn't increase. So I asked them to monitor their weight every morning. Okay, so back to Ozempic. Is it a long-term solution? No, because the weight comes back. With Chirothin, once we change the metabolism and you're able to eat healthy after the 6 weeks, you can bring back breakfast, so you can go back to 3 meals a day. You can increase portion sizes, 6 to 7 ounces for women, 7 to 8 ounces for men. But as long as you're eating clean, you're not bringing back the cookies and the carbs and the sugary sweets, you're going to maintain that weight loss, and you don't need to take the Chirothin formula. Is Ozempic a short-term solution? Well, if most people are coming off the drug within 3 months because of the side effects. I don't think it's a good short-term solution either, right? So too many side effects, so definitely not a good short-term solution. Also, the digestive system. We're paralyzing the stomach. Now, when I spent so much time trying to figure out how to increase energy in my life, everything keeps coming back to having a good digestive system, a good digestive tract. Now, if you're affecting that with stomach paralysis, you're going to affect the digestive tract, because in our digestive tract we have so many beneficial bacteria that live there, and they produce these chemicals, these neurotransmitters known as serotonin. Serotonin then is in the body. More serotonin is being produced in our digestive tract than it is in our brain, even though it's considered a brain neurotransmitter. And serotonin is responsible for our feel-good hormones, our sense of being happy. So now you're affecting that with Ozempic and disrupting the gut. Now they're finding there are a lot of people having problems with depression, and even suicide have been reported with Ozempic. So again, why would anybody take this particular medication, this drug? I don't know if any of our members have been on it and have had some of these types of side effects. If you can just share your experience in the comments, this might help other of our members who might be thinking about maybe trying this. So you guys can look this up, and also go onto Twitter and find this this amazing interview that I recently watched with Tucker Carlson. So mental health disorders are related to Ozempic, which seems strange to me. Like, why would anybody want to take this and take the risk of affecting our digestive system, our digestive tract? Right, so this clean diet with Chirothin, the fruits, the vegetables, this is going to really help rebalance our gut microbiome, the flora, the good bacteria that we have, and we want to get rid of the bad stuff. I think we've talked enough about Ozempic. If there's questions, please drop it in the chat and I can answer more questions on future lives and posts. Again, I strongly believe Chirothin is the obvious choice. It's an amazing weight loss program that helps for the short term and the long term. Meaning you're able to lose 20 to 30 pounds in 6 weeks and you'll be able to maintain this weight loss. There are videos below I've dropped with some of my clients who will discuss how they're able to maintain that weight loss. It's resetting our metabolism, our hunger hormones, the hypothalamic, pituitary, adrenal, thyroid axis, HPA-T axis. Those are all the places where the hormones are being produced and regulating our hunger, our metabolism. This can all be taken off track because of our diet, eating too much, the sodas, the chemicals, the toxins in our diet. So we want to clean that up, and if we can do that, we're going to change the HPA-T axis, which will make you much more healthier. And again, who wants to inject themselves weekly when you can take a spray? Again, the spray is a blend of amino acids, B vitamins, some homeopathic stuff. It's approved in Canada and the US. It's safe. And it'll help to kickstart the burning of fat in your body, especially the belly fat, which is also known as visceral fat, which is so dangerous to our health. So in my opinion, Chirothin is the obvious choice. Let me help you get through this program. So the Chirothin formula you can only buy from a Chirothin registered doctor, and so I am one of them, but there's about 1,000 in North America. And I have the program that I do virtually. We ship everything right to you, and I will coach you once a week and answer questions, make sure you're staying on track, and I'll be your accountability coach. And I've been doing this now for the past year and getting amazing results, and would love to help you also. We have an add-on to our program to really help people who've really struggled for a long time, doing something called the body audit, which is the 24-hour integrated urine analysis panel. Again, just scroll below, you'll see the results of my panel. And it looks at many different things. Today we just want to talk about, if you look at the far left of the results where it says Indican. So Indican is a test that, even though it's a urine test, it's telling us how healthy is our digestive tract. And that bar in the middle is where the results, if you're in there, that's where you should be. My results for Indican, I'm at 0, and it should be 1, 2, 3. 0 is an indicator of too much yeast in the digestive tract. So again, we need to keep that digestive tract as healthy as possible. So I'm working on it. One of the things that I have started since doing this test is taking digestive enzymes. As I have learned to improve the Indican, we need to be able to better digest our food and to clean up the digestive tract. So having too much yeast in there, there's a formula that Chirothin makes called Clean, and in there is a whole bunch of ingredients, including probiotics and other things to help clean the digestive tract. So I've been taking that, and I'll probably do my 24-hour integrated urine analysis panel sometime in the future to see if my digestive system is working. Because when we look at this panel, we're going to start at that far left looking at Indican and also sediment, which is another indication of our dietary stress. How well is our body able to burn and digest and break down the food, right? So these are important things to look at. So many amazing little things that are uncovered in this test, and I highly encourage you guys to, when you sign up, to also include this 24-hour urine analysis that I call the body audit. The lab is done by McCaffrey Laboratory, one of only 2 labs in the entire US that runs this specific testing on our urine. And the urine gives us so much information on how our body and our digestive system is doing. And if we can clean up that digestive system, we're going to have more energy. We're going to be able to lose the weight and keep it off. Okay guys, that's enough for me for this week. I will be back next week. I'm liking this time, Fridays, 1:30 Pacific time, but we will record and post it back in the group, so anybody who wants to watch it later. And again, feel free to drop your comments, questions. This community, it's supposed to be two-way communication. Let me know if you're finding value, if you want me to discuss other things, if you have questions. This will help other members, which is our mission, to help as many people lose as much weight as possible and to become healthy naturally. All right guys, take care, have a wonderful weekend, and go Chiefs.